Yeah, it's we have a theme for every day so that we can focus the learning instead of bouncing all over like we would normally do. We start with you've got to prove it day, which explains why documentation matters and how to do it and where you need to do it.
Mm-hmm.
The big thing is not just giving you a list of things to do, but actually trying to help you understand what that list means and some different techniques to get through them and some ideas. Regardless of where you are or what your job is, if you're in that mix of being on that compliance team and the cybersecurity team, whichever, where you're documenting things, or you should be documenting things, you will learn why.
Mm-hmm.
And then we go through those things, and so that's Tuesday, I think. What are the days, David? I don't even know. There's one day that it's that's usually where we start. Then there's a risky business day.
Yeah, so that's Wednesday is risky
Yeah.
business.
And
Uh,
guess what we're covering there?
Slide in your underwear. I mean,
Yeah, that's how we come in with our Ray-Bans on and
yeah, yeah.
uh-huh.
So talking about risk analysis and security analysis, security risk assessments, however you want,
All the different
gap
things about
analysis.
managing, yeah, all the different things about managing risk and the processes that have to do with that. So yeah, how do you actually do a risk analysis? What a
Hmm.
great idea. Let's go through how to do one, David.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah, yeah. And that's the day we top everything off with the bourbon and breeches happy hour.
yes. And whether people want to believe it or not, until you see it, it's hard to get it. But I do manage to teach you about bourbon and whiskey in general, uh, and do a tasting explaining, about a particular bourbon that we're tasting and match it to a data breach story. And I do somehow manage to do that.
Yeah.
Now, if you came last year, I don't know, maybe I'll do what I did last year. I really liked how it was so smooth how it worked out. Plus, it was so smooth drinking those bourbons. But, you
Yeah, that might
know,
be what we change our podcast to. Just change the whole podcast to bourbon and breeches.
ooh, I could do that.
Yes,
That's a
everybody
thought.
grab a bourbon and we'll discuss breaches as we go through our bourbon.
Yeah, I like that idea. We might have to do a few episodes of that, just
There you
test
go. There you
episodes.
go. Yeah.
But
And
yeah,
then
that's how
next
we
day.
end that day, just to, still learning, just
Oh yeah.
trying to do something fun with it and showing you all the different ways. Yeah, I'm not saying you go to the office and do a bourbon and breeches happy hour, but I am saying be creative about how you train people, which is what we're
Hmm.
talking about.
Yep.
And no, you don't have to taste the bourbon. Many people do not.
That is true.
David's afraid of that brown water. He ain't touching
Yeah, we got a bad history. I'll just say it that way.
it. And it can go well anytime. All right, and then what's the next day is
Next one is PriSec is a team sport.
yeah, which is all about working together and how we all have to participate in doing the work of cybersecurity. Privacy and security is not something, oh, that's an IT problem. Oh, that's a legal problem. All of us have to participate or it ain't going to work, which is why we're having such a problem these days.
Yep. And we'll introduce HIPAA and talk about how to implement that and what those threats are, how OCR investigations work. Yeah, good stuff on that day.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be interesting details. And, throughout all of this, we're going to blend in all of the proposed changes. We're not going to focus on them, we're going to include them along the way. So,
Hmm.
any area where there are proposed changes, we're going to discuss them and how they would impact you and how they would change what you're required to do and what we recommend you do in the interim, where we are right now, what should you be doing now, knowing there's so many proposals out there. So we're going to go through that in all of the discussions over the 4 days, which is day number 4.
Yeah, day number 4. Murphy's Law Day. I wonder what that means.
Yeah, if it can go wrong, it will go wrong, right?
Absolutely.
So it's all about disaster recovery, business continuity, incident response, building a plan. If you don't have a plan, you have no idea how bad it's going to be.
Mm-hmm.
Even with a plan, it's not something that most people are like, I can't believe that's not in our plan, even when they have a plan, because something always happens. And we go through a live tabletop exercise where you participate. Everyone participates, and we're able to do it so that you learn all the things you got to worry about. You're doing it yourself, and it makes it a little bit more, because we have so much information we're cramming in. We like to be a little bit more interactive on that last morning, because that makes sure you wake up.
Mm-hmm.
And then we end with helping you review your action plan. What is your action plan for the next 3 quarters or the rest of this year? Or at least, what is your action plan for the next 90 days?
Mm-hmm.
You leave, and we want you to leave. We actively participate in getting you to that point. So, 4 full days, very intense, no time to play golf. Like, it's not a conference. People are like, it's not a conference, is it? No. That's why we call it a boot camp.
That's right.